You're listening to the Mermaid Podcast here on WPOD-FM, Mermaid Radio. I'm Gary Guppy, and we hope you enjoy today's program.
Welcome to the Mermaid Podcast, where we dive deep into the magical world of mermaiding and all things aquatic. I'm your host, Mer Ashira, and these are my co-hosts, Mermaid Sierra, and the man who simply cannot get enough zebra cakes in his life, Merman Nathaniel.
Whether you're a seasoned performer, hobbyist, or curious adventure seeker, this is the place for you. We'll be highlighting our fantastic community and what we're all about, making magic and living our best mermaid dreams.
Today, we'll be diving into our very first episode ever, so grab your tails and get ready to make a splash. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok at The Mermaid Podcast, and join the pod on Discord to connect with our community, linked in the description below. If you like what we do, please consider donating a coffee to Our Coffee to help us continue the podcast. Let's dive in.
Wow, it's crazy that this is our first episode. We've been talking about this project for so long. I just can't believe, it's officially happening. But,
Right?
Yes. So exciting.
My name is Mer Ashira. You can find me on Instagram at mer.ashira, and I am from the United States. I've been interested in mermaiding for probably forever, but I did get my first tail 2 or 3 years ago in 2022, so I guess 3 years now. That's crazy. What about you guys?
Hi, my name is Merman Nathaniel. Out of the three of us here, I'm the most beginner of this group, so this is going to be as much of a learning experience for me as I'm sure it is for some of you listeners at home. Again, I got my first tail around 2023-ish. It was very much an impulse buy, thanks to people like Ash over here. Yeah, thank you for that, by the way. That was
No problem.
I still haven't financially recovered from that.
You
but
never do,
you know what?
and you
It was
never
worth it.
will.
No, it
No.
just gets worse.
No. But, I'm very much beginning my whole merman adventure these past couple of years, and so I'm hoping to get my fins wet for real eventually.
We definitely will make that happen soon. It will happen soon.
Well, my name is Sierra Mermaid. You can find me on all socials under that name, and we're going to quickly find out that I am a grade A yapper. Before we get into all my mermaiding stuff, I figured just outside of this, I'd give a quick little spiel. I am also a lover of all things scary, paganism, poetry, books, and I have a red healer, Raina. And I actually fell in love with mermaiding through H2O back in 2006. I found Hannah
Preach.
Mermaid around that time, and the Emily Winsnap series too, if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
But I went back and I found that in 2020 was when I had bought my first tail through Suntail's Mermaid. I found that I loved it. The hobby itself actually wasn't my first hobby though. I was an ice skater and a roller skater, but I developed a funky little thing called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
Wow.
And it's a really weird thing that it messes with your autonomic nervous system. A lot of the things that you're able to do on your own. Heart rates and blood pressure, balance, just a lot of really weird things. So those who follow my socials already or have seen me around may notice that pretty much no matter what, I have on this big old black watch, and it's actually to monitor that issue. But swimming is what gave me back a lot of my mobility and my balance. I was originally, I would say 2022, I was close to bedbound. I had to change jobs because I just couldn't be active anymore. I had to give up skating. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, but it came back to me, and it is absolutely because of mermaiding that I'm able to walk around without a mobility aid again and things like that. And it has given me so much mobility and comfort. From the Suntails, I did switch to Mertailor. I am a Mertailor girly, and that's not sponsored. It is just speaking my truth. Getting pots was such an isolating thing because you couldn't really go anywhere by yourself. And this really has given me such good friendships and everything. I'm so happy to have rediscovered this.
Wow, I can't believe we have to follow that up. That is just such an inspiring story and such a testament
Yeah.
to like mermaiding itself.
Wow.
Oh gosh. I mean, thank you. I guess I'm kind of humble about it.
You've been through things and you've persevered.
So glad that you said that H2O was one of your inspirations, because that show came out around the time that my mermaid obsession as a kid started, or at least that's when they started airing it here on Nickelodeon in the United States. So, like, it's just kind of comforting to know, like, oh, this is like the show that kind of connects all of us together, you know?
For Mermagicon 2025, I actually based my entire look off of the blue locket from the original first 2 seasons.
Yes, the lockets.
It was such a great dress, guys. You guys should have seen it.
You can see it on my Instagram, actually. Shameless
Casual
plug.
Right.
plug. H2O was probably my introduction to mermaids as well. Not even probably, it definitely was. You mentioned it airing on Nickelodeon. Yeah, that's where I watched it. Actually, it was on Teen Nick. I remember it coming on because it would only come on at 5 a.m. in my time zone. And I would wake up. I would set an alarm just so I could see the mermaids. And I remember looking up, maybe when I was in like 3rd grade, like how I could get a tail, because I knew they were actors, like I was old enough, but I was looking up, how do I get a tail like them? Like I want to do that. While I didn't find the mermaid community back then, I did find out that people do in fact make tails like that. And it's been on my mind ever since. And as soon as I got big girl money, to the tail shop it was, and my first tail was a Golden Paradise Atlantis tail from FinFun. And it has fins, it has a dorsal fin, like the whole 9 yards, glitter, everything a mermaid wants, you know. And I've since moved to Finfolk, so I'm very much not sponsored. I'm a Finfolk girly. I love the designs. I love the feel of it. So yeah, especially now that the Fimbella tails are out. I actually just bought a new tail recently. It literally just came in about a week ago. So I have not debuted it yet, but my pod here in Kentucky is about to have a swim meet here in a couple weeks that hopefully I will get to debut that tail.
That is so exciting. I can't wait to see photos.
Videos, photos, you name it.
Absolutely. I wish that we could do more meets over where I'm in upstate New York. I'm right on both a lake and a river.
You would think, like, they call them the Great Lakes for a reason. Like, you go out there and it's just, you know, you don't even, like, see the other side of the lake. It just looks like an ocean. You think that would lure more, like, people to become mer people, you know?
Yeah. You know what? I found up in the Great Lakes area, there's, like, a ton of mermaids, like, on maybe around the Chicago side of all the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's, like, where you get up north, it gets, like, a little spotty. Because I know they're having
literally desolate.
the Pirate and Mermaid event here soon. I don't know. They're doing something. I've been hearing, you know, being in Kentucky, I hear the things happening in Indiana, in Illinois, you know, those areas. So I do know that they're having some sort of event. Just the whispering of the waves, if you will.
I remember it was even tougher when I used to live in New Hampshire, because, like, there was just nobody there, despite, like, places like Hampton Beach existing. Hampton Beach, great place, by the way. Shout out to all the people in New Hampshire, Hampton Beach. What's up, folks?
We've talked about, like, you know, when we got our first tails, like, when we started getting into mermaiding, and I feel like that happens at different times for everybody, but when did we like discover mermaiding as a community, or when did we discover like, oh, there's other people like me, like I'm not just a weirdo for wanting to swim in a fishtail and not want legs anymore?
Had to have been like mid to late high school for me. I don't remember how I wound up discovering it, but through some sort of rabbit hole, I did sort of discover Eric Ducharme and his Mertailor business. And I saw all those tales that he had. You know, from there, it just sort of dominoed. Like, oh, wait, there's people that do this professionally? Wait, there's this guy makes tales for movies and commercials and stuff? And, you know, it was just kind of crazy seeing there was this whole community that... I don't even know how to describe it. It felt like, you know, it felt like that moment in, like, I don't know, like a Disney film or whatever, where the average Joe pulls back the curtain and he suddenly discovers this whole secret society that's been in his hometown this entire life, and it's full of magical creatures and stuff. And it just felt eye-opening. You know, it felt comforting knowing that there was other people that were just like that. I was still, like, very much closeted about this sort of thing in high school, but, you know, being able to, like, go online to websites like Mer Network felt like a second home to me, because I could talk to people that were not only into the same thing I was, you know, mermaiding, but they could also, like, teach me about it. You know, I could learn more about this, and, you know, I could, like, get their experiences from it, and it was just such a cool, like, tightly woven thing.
That's funny that you mentioned Mer Network. I was actually never a part of Mer Network. Personally, I was not. So I'm funny because I guess I didn't do enough research, or maybe I was just super impatient. But I bought my tail before I had even discovered like there was an online community. So being in a landlocked state, I pretty much knew that there wasn't going to be anyone near me, at least publicly, being a mermaid, you know. I figured I would look online, and I don't think I really looked hard enough. Like, I probably didn't use Google at all. But I ended up just getting impatient and making a Discord server, and that is how the pod on Discord became a thing. And it has snowballed ever since. I think we're up to, what, like 820 members at the time of recording?
Pretty close.
Roughly.
Yeah, so that's probably my personal crowning achievement, is just accidentally
You made your own community.
I know. I'm very much a pioneer of I don't know. I mean, I probably could have looked harder, but I'm glad I didn't, because I wouldn't have met all these amazing people.
We love you too, Ash.
Absolutely. Mine is a little bit more comical. I'm going to start with that. So, me and my sister, we loved the H2O. And actually, what started it was we found like a weird offset of the community way back then with our unfiltered internet access. And that was the people who would post like mermaid spells online. We were like 6. Like,
oh my gosh, the mermaid spells.
So we found that first, and like we tried it. Unfortunately, none of them worked, clearly, because I had to start buying tails as an adult.
Because you had to start spending money, as you always do.
I know, instead of just taking the cheap route. So, when I did rediscover that this was an actual hobby and not just a bunch of BS on YouTube, I found the Mer Network first, actually, and I did find that before I started mermaiding, because I did so much research into it, so much looking into it, and honestly, if it wasn't for all of the things that I saw on the Mer Network, even though it was dying at the time, I probably would not have gotten into it. But it was, it was absolutely Mer Network that really got me involved.
Good times, those.
That's good to hear that Mer Network had such a formative, like, role in so many people's mermaiding journeys. It's sad to see it go, but, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy that now it's gone. And it's only been it feels like a few short years. I know it's been longer, but it's so crazy that it's something that still pops up like first page in Google, and it's dead. It's so sad.
But, I think in a small way, I feel like the pod, our server, is kind of carrying on the spirit of Mer Network. In fact, like some of the members in our server were from the Mer Network days. Like I recognize a few of those names as soon as they joined in.
Right.
Like when the pod was starting to like get popular,
Absolutely. And I know some may even go by a different name. I did not go by Sierra Mermaid for the first few years.
Right.
Next, we'll be sharing some first tale stories submitted from listeners in our Discord community, the pod. So I'll start off from the user Mermaid Spirit. My first tale was a pink tale I had made when I was in grade school, so 4th or 5th grade to early middle school, 6th grade. I had gotten pink swim fabric and we had foam to make my mermaid tail and quote unquote monofin since we couldn't afford an actual mermaid tail with a monofin. I enjoyed this tail despite not being able to swim in it due to how floaty and not great the foam was. This is dangerous. I would not recommend this at all. I used it for land photos and fun. I even used it to get my first photos of me as a mermaid. I had my own mermaid series, which is now deleted, Secret Life of a Mermaid Princess, on YouTube with it. I still have this tail, but I don't use it. I keep it for the memory of it. I enjoy looking at it and remembering the fun memories I have using it.
It's such a shame that they deleted that series. That would have been like a fun thing to just revisit. I hope they at least like have that backed up somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went a little viral in high school for some really stupid thing that I put on the internet. And I could delete it at any time, but now I kind of do get a little giggle out of it being out there. So I do leave it, I'll admit.
I guess I'll go next. Let's see. From Vicky, the Finfun Katana Koi Atlantis tale, now discontinued. Now husband gifted it to me. Swam in it twice before COVID stopped me, but it was incredible. My inner child was so happy. And really, isn't that all that matters in the end? Like, we're sort of doing this to, like, satisfy, like, our inner child.
Yes, everybody's inner child deserves to be happy, especially in a mermaid tale.
100%.
Absolutely. We've also got one from Agent B90. Agent says, when I went and stayed away from home for the first time during my time at university, I was lucky to have the space and time to think about expressing the hobbies that I had been afraid to admit that I liked. So I took the plunge and bought a basic tail and monofin off Amazon. I have yet to swim in it. I need an experienced mer to help, but that first metaphorical step is the most important.
I think that's an important comment to express hobbies that he had been afraid to admit that he liked. I think mermaiding can be a bit of a taboo hobby. I think we're afraid to be judged, but taking the plunge is exactly what you need to do, just to live your truth and live for your happiness and not others.
And
Yeah, exactly. Because I mentioned earlier I did a photo shoot. First of all, that whole photo shoot was paid off by my mother and my sister behind my back as an early birthday present, so thanks to them for that. But when I got those photos back and I uploaded them online, it was like the outpouring of support. It felt like I had like a huge weight lifted off of my shoulders. I was just keeping this in for so long, and now that I'm finally like out and proud about it, it was just so relief. Of course, I got some detractors, but whatever. Those people can go suck a sea cucumber. Just seeing all these people telling me that I looked amazing, I looked beautiful, I look elegant, seeing me in those photos, in that tail, just looking happy, looking like I was in my element, that just really helped with my self-esteem, and I was able to like look at myself in the mirror for like the first time in a long time and actually tell myself, I look good.
I love that. I really do. And another point that I think is so important to bring up, that self-acceptance that you're bringing up, is amazing. And a lot of people don't understand that when it comes down to it, we live in a day and age where, because everybody is seeing each other all the time and every which way, that social media and things like that, it makes people afraid to be judged, for one. And I feel like this is such a unique hobby in the fact that it's not just a hobby, it's like Morgana from the Circus Siren Pod has said before, it's a danger art. It truly is. And how many people do you know that are comfortable with getting in the water with their extremities stuck together? Like, it's not super easy. I think it's such an athletic thing that you can do, and you have to truly trust yourself, your instincts. It just makes you so in tune with your own body, and it makes you so much more comfortable with yourself, like you said.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, one last one I'll read from Cross Syria, who is a resident artist and has made lots of great art for our server. Love you. Where I
Absolutely.
live, mermaiding is still a niche hobby. Where isn't it? Buying
Yeah.
tails or tail skins here gets really tricky and expensive. So I needed to make my own tail. I asked a friend for help with sewing. It came out amazing and I took it for my trip to Croatia. Finally, I feel good in my own skin, pun intended.
It's kind of interesting reading some of these and realizing like how many people here started off by making their own tails to try and save money. Because that seems like a bit of a risky thing, but it's cool that they're able to like take that shot.
I'm personally not handy enough to do that. However, I
No.
applaud anyone who can do it properly.
Yeah, I wish I could. I wish I was artistic.
I think just the thing with making your own tail is just you need to have the right monofin. I really think your tail skin, as long as it's sewn properly and it's made of water durable material, I think as long as you have a good, safe monofin, make your own tail. Try to find your own fabric. Bring your vision to life. That's how all of these tail makers started. They just made their own tail. They decided one day, I have a vision and I'm going to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, and oh, okay, Gary's signaling to me in the recording booth that we should cut to commercial now.
All right, and when we get back from the break, we'll talk about some safety tips.
You're listening to WPOD FM Mermaid Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Lost your voice in a tight contract? We'll be your voice in court.
Hi, I'm Danny Lowe, and for over 35 years, I've represented the greater North Atlantic area in many different cases of sea witch fraud, including faulty contracts, unfair conditions, and unlawful transformations.
I went to a sea witch out of desperation for a better life, but the contract terms were completely outrageous, and I just wasn't sure I could get out of it. But thanks to Mr. Lowell, I got my life back, and I was able to recoup my costs.
If you or a loved one is caught up in a contract they can't break, don't hesitate. Pick up your cell phones and call 555-2983 today.
Get ready to flip those fins, tap those tentacles, and get down on your dorsals over at Pacific Groove. Find the best lighting, the coolest drinks, and dance the night away to bonafide classics and the latest hits. Be sure to check out our disco night and boogie to some 70s classics every Saturday night. Pacific Groove, located just off the northern cliffs near Mariana's Trench. Swim on in and have a night you'll never forget.
Now that we're back, we figured that we could dive in to some beginner tips and tricks to go over with our members of the pod.
Right.
So I think when we started out mermaiding, there was a lot of things we didn't know that we wished someone had told us. So we're going to be your someone.
First off, I would say learn to swim.
Yes,
But-
being a strong swimmer is so important. A lot of people don't realize how tough of a thing that this can be. I know even my mom, when I first got into this hobby, she tried her hand, and my dad did have to jump in after her. It was unsafe. I
God,
wasn't
yeah.
home. I had no idea that she had done it until after it was said and done.
Oh,
But it really
Mom.
goes to show how you need to be able to swim if you're going to get in the water.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that I wish someone told me, probably to be very conscious of where you're swimming. I don't think I've ever been in an unsafe situation. I don't tend to go out into open water a lot, like lakes or rivers. I'm in a landlocked state, so that's pretty much all I have. But no one ever made me keenly aware of you need to be aware of where you're swimming. Your tail can get caught in something that's submerged under the water. Even in the pool, you got to be very careful. Make sure you're always ready to like grab onto the edge of the pool, like if you need to catch your breath or something, because mermaiding is
Right.
exhausting. I know I've been doing recording sessions underwater where I'm just swimming and swimming and I'm really focusing on trying to get the most out of my camera battery, that I finally surface and I'm like, whoa, I'm a little woozy, like I need to step out. And I don't think a lot of people are aware that they need to have that kind of awareness about their well-being, their physical well-being.
I think that also plays into the next point I was about to make, which is don't do this alone. All right, you always want to do this with at least somebody either in the pool with you or just kind of sitting by the sidelines in case, they need to come after you if you like pass out or whatever.
Yeah, I'll
Absolutely.
admit, I'm bad. I'll admit it. Don't follow my lead ever. A lot of the time, I do tend to swim alone sometimes, but I normally do have somebody with me when I use the pool. That a lot of the time my mother does help with a lot of photos and things like that, and she's at least in the house with the windows open, so it's not too bad. But you do have to just be aware. I know that even if I'm in the pool, there's been quite a few times where I'll admit it, I have smacked my head off the bottom of the pool too many times to count. It can be really unsafe, and people don't understand that even if you're a strong swimmer, all it takes is going a little bit too deep into your dive, you can whack your head and really hurt yourself.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
For our beginners, you've come here, you don't know what mermaiding is. What are we even talking about? Mermaiding is when you wear a thing called a monofin, which is kind of like flippers, but they're attached. So your feet move in tandem. And you wear what's called a tail skin around it. And it can be plenty of different sizes, plenty of different shapes, plenty of different patterns, plenty of different colors. But it creates the silhouette of having a mermaid tail. It completely binds your legs together, which is why we need to talk so much about safety, because who looks at swimming in the pool or the ocean with your legs bound together as a safe activity?
Right.
But what would you guys say, like, for new mermaids? Which should they buy first, a tail or a monofin?
Monofin, absolutely.
Monofin.
I would agree with that. I think monofin. And if you don't have a monofin yet, but you're interested in mermaiding, perfect your dolphin kick. That's just where you kick your feet in tandem like they're tied together. But if you can do that while your feet aren't bound together, then you can do that with a monofin in.
And I would also say maybe practice your breath holding as well, because I think that's an important skill to try and master early on. Not just so you can stay underwater longer, but also, in case something does come up, you will have like those few precious seconds to recompose yourself and get yourself out of that situation.
Absolutely. You can't let panic take over if you're underwater. But that's another reason why swerving back a monofin is so important, because if you're just in a tail and not a monofin, that is going to drag you down, and it's going to take those precious seconds if you are in a situation in which you could panic and you're under the water.
And please, for the love of God, don't go on Temu or any of those other like dollar store app websites to buy a tail. Those things are not safe at all.
Yes, they're stolen art 99.9% of the time. Mostly from Mertailor or Finfolk. You'll see that they get stolen quite often and just printed onto some very cheap fabric. And they often don't sell monofins that would go with the tail, for one, but if they do, a lot of the time it's made out of some really flimsy, cheap material, and there are so many stories of people breaking the materials while they're swimming, or the materials just breaking on their own with the movement, and it can land you in the hospital. It can cut your feet, it can cause injury. It's just not safe.
And while I'm at it, also don't take advice from, or don't follow the videos from 5 Minute Crafts either. Like, anytime, I have friends outside of the mermaid community that will sometimes share those videos with me, and they'll be like, oh, what's your opinion on this thing? And like, every single time I watch those videos, I just cringe.
Death trap. That's what I think.
I mean, they get me, you know? They get me good.
I think along with that, not only is it those 5 Minute Crafts videos, they are not only a hazard to humans, they're a hazard to the environment. There's so many of them that I see.
God, yes.
They're using environmentally unsafe materials and then immediately taking it into a creek or a river for a photo shoot. And not only does it look bad, but you're getting glitter, you're getting beads, you're getting plastic, you're getting all these pollutants. Styrofoam, oh my gosh. You're getting all this stuff into the environment. I think it's a responsibility as merfolk for us to be stewards of the environment, especially our waterways.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like that kind of comes with the territory where, you know, you're not only trying to make yourself look beautiful, you're trying to make your surroundings look beautiful as well. That's why mer people tend to live very like eco-conscious lifestyle. When Sierra and I went to Mer Magic Con, you know, we had people like packing single-use water bottles. There was like very little trash like anywhere. I don't think I saw like a single full trash bin at that convention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how eco-conscious these guys, mer people tend to be.
Well,
Absolutely.
mermaids are supposed to live in the water, so why would a mermaid be throwing trash into it? That's kind of my
Exactly.
stance. It's just so important. And even then, at home, I barely use the single plastics. And if I do, I'll
I
just
as
fill them
well.
back up again a few times and recycle them. It doesn't hurt to recycle instead of throwing it in the trash. It can always be used again.
Right.
You mentioned why would mermaids trash where they're living? I don't know. Have you seen what these pesky humans do to the land they're supposed to be living on?
Ugh.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Oh my goodness.
Then it comes back into the waterways and affects us.
Ugh.
Yeah. Love
Absolutely.
breathing in that toxic air.
I love some toxic waste in the morning current.
Yum yum microplastics.
You're listening to WPOD FM Mermaid Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Need a pick-me-up after a tiring day of work? Try a bucket of popcorn scallops, new from Atlantic Joe's. Deep fried and battered to perfection with a savory gutweed sauce? They're sure to pop in your mouth. Pick up a combo with fried kelp and an ice-cold Arctic Cola today.
Hello? Is this thing on? My name is Alan. I have some boats. I got a lot of boats to sell. You can see right there, Alan's Boat Depot. So, come on down. Be sure to come say hi. Come pet the dog. How do I turn this thing off? And welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're, I'm sorry. I gotta ask, what the hell was that last commercial?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We
That
probably
that
need
wasn't
to
even
have...
a commercial. That was
seems
just a
interesting.
guy talking in his. All right, whatever. Now we're going to be doing some trivia.
Awesome.
So I hope
Cannot wait.
you two
Us
Yeah, I hope
two?
you two have brushed up. Yeah, I'm not getting involved with this. I'm the one reading the questions.
Oh, goodness. Oh, jeez.
Well, I used to play a lot of trivia crack in high school. We'll see if I still got it.
Oh, don't even get me started on trivia crack.
Are we
Oh,
aging
trust
ourselves
me.
with that?
I think we are. Leave in the comments
Oh,
a
believe
guess
me.
for all of our ages.
Oh, trust me, this trivia is gonna make you crack, all right.
Oh, okay.
All right, so are you two ready?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go for it.
So these questions are all general mermaid related. They're related to mermaid media. They're related to mermaid folklore. They're related to mermaiding in general. So this is just to kind of brush up, just to kind of test your knowledge. So our first question. At the age of 6, this famous tale maker had their birthday party at Buccaneer Bay at Wikiwachi Springs.
Eric from Mer Taylor.
Aw,
right.
you gotta wait till he's
That is
finished
correct.
reading it, bruh.
I'm sorry.
No, I'll give it to you. I'm nice. I'll give it to you.
Our second question. Splash Mountain was originally going to have ties to what mermaid movie?
Splash?
The Little Mermaid.
Splash it is. Apparently, Eisenberg really wanted to, even though the whole ride was themed around the movie Song of the South, he wanted to incorporate the movie Splash into it to promote that film. And the Imagineers just told him, look, that's stupid, but we're keeping the name. And so that's how Splash Mountain came about.
Boo.
Interesting. But Splash would have been such a better contender.
The ending to The Little Mermaid was changed to, quote, be more like Die Hard, under the request of which Disney chairman?
Now that one I cannot answer.
Walt Disney.
It was Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Dang.
What a guy.
What a name. Jeffrey Katzenberg.
He's a legend.
Well, thank you, Jeffrey, for ensuring we have the movie that we have today.
Yeah, it was a good ending.
Good ending.
The water park scenes in H2O Just Add Water were filmed at what park?
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld.
See, all right, you both get one.
Jinx.
Here we go. This one's a bit more obscure. Jamie Timoney, who played Nate on several episodes of H2O, went on to form which Australian punk band?
Do we get like a
know
multiple
this.
choice, or do we just?
I know
guess?
Let's see what Sierra thinks.
Oh my gosh, what was it? I know this answer too. It was Sick of Something. Sick of It All, right? Something like that?
No. It was These New South Wales.
These New South Wales is crazy.
I am way off.
You guys should totally listen to These New South Wales, by the way. Their music is really good. Which H2O star also performed the show's opening theme?
Indiana Evans.
Indiana Evans.
Oh, I knew it was Bella, but I did not remember her name.
This famed explorer claimed to have spotted mermaids on his way over to another country, noting that they were quite ugly looking, leading historians to believe that he actually saw manatees.
Ferdinand
Columbus.
Magellan.
It was Christopher Columbus.
Oh.
My trivia is not terrible. Besides that one answer, I don't even know where that came from.
The Irish take on mer people has the women luring men to the ocean to live fulfilling lives because the mermen are simply way too ugly.
Selkie.
Is that Selkies?
No.
Oh.
It's actually Marrows.
Marrows. Cool.
Man, we were both very confidently wrong at the exact same time.
You know what? We'll take it.
Yep.
Well, terrible minds think alike. A noted Russian historian described this fish-tailed fertility goddess as, quote, the greatest mistress of the northern Sierran lands.
I feel like I should know this.
I know that I'm out.
Sierra's been coming with the hard-hitting answers.
Do you want me to just give you the
yeah,
answer?
I have no idea.
I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Atargatis.
Oh, wow.
Okay, here's one that you guys will have a lot of fun with. Of these 4 fin-fun tales, only one is real. The rest are fake. Mystic Magenta, Coral Forest Calypso, Indigo Neptune, and Lavish Lionfish.
It's
the Indigo one.
Neptune.
Yep, that's it. This sister-owned tail company got its start making tails for a Minnesota Ren Fair.
Finfolk? Wait.
Folk.
Oh, is that right?
No, you're right.
Oh.
Yep, that's right.
I rescind my, non-confidence.
Once again, I am a Mertailor girly. That was out of my realm, out of my wheelhouse.
This freeform series is about a mermaid who comes to a coastal town in search of her captured sister, who was abducted by the military.
Siren.
Siren.
Ah.
In H2O, this substance was said to lure in mermaids in a hypnotic trance after catching a whiff.
Whale. Wait. It's like whale something.
Oh,
All right.
gosh, I remember this.
It's like they used it as perfume.
It was a goo.
Yeah, it was a goo. I don't want to say like whale semen because I don't think that's it.
Oh God.
No, absolutely not.
PG-13. It's just biological, guys.
Was it a type of algae?
No. I'll tell you this. Ash is very close.
Whale snot.
Is it whale poop?
Whale saliva.
It's called ambergris, but I'm gonna give you that point, Ash, because it more or less is just that.
Oh gosh. How do I not remember that?
This Magic Girl anime involves a group of mermaid princesses fighting demons using the power of music.
Mermaid Melody?
It sounds like my life.
There you go.
Yeah.
Never seen
Alright.
that actually.
It's a very cute anime. It's so cute. Well, anyway, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks like you two are tied. In the mermaid anime, My Bride is a Mermaid. This mermaid Yakuza family is forced to kill a human boy and their mermaid daughter unless they what?
Unless they get married.
There you go.
Educated guess right there, folks.
All right, and with that, Ash is the winner of our trivia.
Narrowly.
Congratulations.
We'll have to keep a running tie, or like a running tally of who's winning these.
Oh, absolutely.
For our podcast episodes, we want to end with something called Community Corner, where we highlight some cool things happening currently in the mermaiding community or in the future. Basically, events, projects, conventions, something that's happening in our Discord server.
Well, every Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, our good friend Chico is doing a art stream on the server. He so graciously did the thumbnail art for the podcast, which we are very grateful for. We look absolutely amazing in it.
Yes.
Especially yours truly. Humble brag.
Oh, yeah.
He's very talented, absolutely.
You know, doesn't
Very,
Chico
very
have like
talented.
a webcomic or something?
He does, actually. I would highly recommend anybody listening here to go check it out. It's called Wet Frontier. It is a webcomic about merpeople in the Wild West, essentially.
Wow.
There's a lot more to it than that, but it is
It's a lot of fun.
on the surface. It is a lot of fun. If you guys just like spaghetti westerns in general, or just want a really fun, really action-packed webcomic to check out, I would highly recommend checking out Wet Frontier.
We'll link that in the description. Next month in May for Mermaid, the California Mermaid Convention is happening. Now, I personally am far too far away from it. However, I hope anyone going has so much fun and meets so many people and does so much swimming.
Absolutely. Swim for all of us who can not make it.
Indubitably. All right, and I think that's it.
All right, see ya.
Swimming away. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this month's episode of the Mermaid Podcast. We loved getting to share our first episode with you all.
And be sure to tune in next time for our special Mermaid episode.
And as always, don't forget to get on those shell phones and follow us on TikTok at the Mermaid Podcast and join our wonderful Discord community. Happy splashing!
We would like to thank this month's coffee donors that have made this month's episode possible. Ariadne, Elizabeth, and Daisy Chains. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this month's episode and want to hear more from us, consider donating to our coffee, linked in the description. Every amount counts and help to pay for our recording software and maintenance fees. Without our coffee donors, we couldn't do what we do. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
This has been the Mermaid Podcast here on WPOD FM, Mermaid Radio. I'm Gary Guppy, and we hope to catch you all next time.